Welcome to the Local Pulse on HBC. I'm Dave Dicke, and today we are joined by Winona Steamboat Days President Stephen Sheehan to talk about the 78th annual Winona Steamboat Days, which is coming up. And Stephen, thanks for taking some time to talk to us today.
Glad to be here.
What are some of the big events this year? I know something that's back this year that people were very excited about last year was the United States Marine Corps Band. I'd say be one of the highlights.
Yeah. For the not only are they playing down at the band shell on Thursday night, we will also have the Marine Reserve Rock Band up at the main entertainment garden up on the Levee Circle there Friday night, just before Mason Dixon Line takes the stage to close out Friday night. And then, so we got Johnny Home coming back for Wednesday night, starting at 7:30 p.m. until 11:30. Then Thursday night, we have Mallrats, a 90s alternative rock cover group, from 8:30 till midnight. Then Friday, we got the Marine Reserve Rock Band, Mason Dixon Line. And then Saturday, we got Arch Alex returning to the stage from 8:30 to midnight.
Sounds like a pretty good musical lineup once again.
Oh yeah, and that's great. It's thanks in huge parts to Hurryback Productions. Not only their sponsorship of Winona Steamboat Days, but the support that Mike Sloggy and his team have been giving us with booking some of these acts. This year and last year, Hurryback Productions just sent us a list of like groups that they think would be fantastic for the stage. Some of them we've had before, but Hurryback Productions has more reach with some of the groups that we've wanted in the past. And thanks to this wonderful partnership with Hurryback Productions, we're able to get some of these other acts, and so that's super. And it's such a huge relief for the entertainment with the support of Hurryback Productions.
Another big event I know that people like to partake in is the car show. That's on Saturday the 14th, correct?
Correct. So this year, it's still going to be on 3rd Street. It is pulling back a little bit. Posted up on our Facebook, we have the new layout for this year. Because of the construction on 2nd Street, everyone was concerned. The last time I drove down through 2nd Street, the areas that we're going to be at have already been, concreted in, so we should be ready to rock and roll. So we're not going to have as much intrusion on the 3rd Street downtown businesses as we did last year. But the car show, it's just that Saturday. But there's still, a significant impact on the downtown businesses. But it's such a beautiful place to put it. The historic downtown of Winona is such a beautiful place to have the, classic car show. So my only thing about having, the whole festival downtown is the impact on the downtown businesses. So I'm hoping everyone that comes to attend Steamboat Days shares the love and supports our downtown businesses.
Let's talk a little bit about the carnival. I mean, you mentioned the construction, and as we're recording this today, their crews seem to be working overtime, making sure they've got all the holes filled, which is good. I think things should be fine by Steamboat Days time. But it kind of affected a little the layout of the carnival a little bit as well. Can you just talk a little bit about the carnival, where it's going to be at, and what people can expect with that this year?
Yeah. So we've always crept up onto 2nd Street, even when the carnival was in back behind the Winona 7 there. Now with the hotel going up there. Luckily, their construction is all inside now, so we're able to move back onto 2nd Street. So we're going to be from 2nd and Main down to Second and Lafayette. Um, and we're going to go up Center Street a little bit, going down to the alleyway between Windhaven and all those businesses there, and going up. Like, we should be able to butt up pretty close to the 60 Main construction there on Center. Um, but a huge thing that we've done is, like, the obstruction to Windhaven's parking lot has always been an issue. So we work with Windhaven and the city that coming up Center Street, they're able to turn into that alleyway and are able to get into their parking lot right there. So we're going to have that access set up for the Windhaven parking lot. But yeah, we're taking over Second Street from Main to Lafayette. So, but we've kind of been there already for years now.
And then when we talk about the carnival, also mixed in there is all the food. I think food mostly is going to be kind of on the Levy Plaza, correct?
Well, so Gold Star Amusements is the outfit that we work with for the carnival. So they have their own food vendors that are sprinkled throughout the carnival. But yes, on the Levy Park there on Main Street, we're going to have some of the classics that we've been bringing in the last few years. We're going to have Stumpy's Pizza again. The Winona Chamber of Commerce is going to have their stand so everyone could get their brats on. Rubio's is going to have their truck there. I think we're bringing back that infusion Indian inspired food. That was I loved it. I'm so glad Maynard Johnson found those guys and invited them to come be a food vendor. So yeah, we're gonna have our food vendors there from Wednesday through Sunday. The carnival, like their food vendors aren't going to start running until Thursday because they're coming up from Louisiana. Is like the show that the festival that they're currently at. So they're coming all the way up from Louisiana for us. So that's why we don't have them running on Wednesday because they're still coming in on Wednesday. But Thursday through Sunday is going to be the carnival. As long as we don't get rained out on Sunday.
Yeah,
but
speaking of Sunday, that's the big parade day.
Oh yes, the grand parade. And this year, like last year, was already a pretty big parade. Like we had a lot of like fantastic units. This year is going to be just as fantastic as last year. We got Miss America again, we got Miss Minnesota again, and of course the next iteration of the Miss Winona Steamboat Days court will be in there. And plus plenty of fun little surprises with different parade units that we got coming in. And last year and this year for the parade is such a huge, like we've been able to put so much into it, thanks in part to another sponsor of ours, Ashley Furniture. They were our sponsor like the sponsor for the Grand Parade last year, and they're the sponsor again this year. So super excited to have that sponsorship as well. In addition to all the local businesses that are continuing to throw money at us, so we can put on this fantastic festival for everyone.
It's kind of piggybacking off of something else you mentioned, the Miss Winona Steamboat Days pageant. Is this the second year or the third year that it's been?
It's the second year since the Steamboat Days committee has taken over the Miss Winona competition.
And I noticed was it like nine girls or something like that vying for the crown this year?
Yep. We cap it out at 10, so like we're not overwhelmed. But the biggest thing about the revival of the Miss Winona competition is we've steered away from the beauty pageant of it. Instead, it's more community driven, scholarship program. Because we're offering $3,500 to the the Miss Winona Steamboat Days, and then I think it's 1,500 to the two runners up, Princess of the Port Watch and Princess of the Starboard Watch, two titles that were around back in the 70s and haven't really been used since then, but we brought them back. Um, and what I really like about it is it's more preparing these young women for the future, because what the competition entails is first they submit an essay of why they think they should be the next Miss Winona Steamboat Days, and then like the actual judging, instead of you know peacocking around on stage, they instead are sitting down with our judges and going through like a mock interview. So it's more preparing them for like what's it like to go through job interviews, writing up like a resume, and the cover letters of resumes. So I really like where the program is now, and a lot of this, I mean, the program was really, this iteration of the program was really the brainchild of a former Miss Winona, Michaela Moore. She was the last Miss Winona of the old Miss Winona program. And when that went down, she stuck around because she's from Winona. She's a Winona native. So she stuck around to like ride on our float for a couple extra years. And then she brought to the committee, her version of what she thinks the Miss Winona, competition should be. And so like the, current generation is her brainchild. And I'm so grateful that we had Michaela Moore's, continued support and commitment to Winona.
It's a great story. Now, Steamboat Days is a huge event. How many man hours do you think go into the event if you start with planning? Because planning almost starts immediately after the festival ends, I'd imagine, pretty close to
August. That. August. Yep. We take July off because we need to. But yeah, our very first meeting after the festival itself is in August. I mean, we have like a little like wrap up shindig that board members, volunteers, crew members are invited to, and that's just an informal thing. But August is when we already start getting the ball rolling. And so we meet, like the whole committee meets once a month. Again, we take July off and we take December off. But like the various subcommittees, because like every aspect of Steamboat Days, from the kids fishing contest, the golf tournament that's tomorrow, not tomorrow, Saturday, the 7th there. And and of course the grand parade, the fireworks is its own like subcommittee. Like every aspect has a subcommittee, and the board members that sit on the various subcommittees, they're meeting, with the other subcommittee members at least once a week. So, and plus, just the random phone calls that people make, the emails that come in at random times. I don't think there are enough hours in the day for how much we need to put into it. It'd be less of an impact if we had more volunteers, and more people like my age, millennials and such. Kind of wish there were more millennials that were like, volunteering, wanting to be crew members, wanting to be board members. To think that I'm either the second or third youngest board member. And I've said this before, more of our board members are pushing walkers instead of strollers. So, I mean, you'd think the retirees would even have even more time to like devote to things, but they're living their lives, because what a lot of people don't realize is this is unpaid. None of us board members are paid. So in addition to full-time jobs, raising families, various other activities. You know, again, not enough hours in the day for us to put into Steamboat Days, and yet we're able to make it happen.
That's an incredible commitment, and thank you to your board member and your volunteers for doing that. So, how many volunteers do you need to run Steamboat Days? Like this year, how many volunteers do you have? Do you have a head count on that yet?
So we have two levels of like volunteers. There's just random volunteers, and what those like with no real commitments. Those volunteers are mostly picked up by the various subcommittees, and those volunteers only help with those specific events. So you would have to ask each subcommittee chair like how many volunteers you actually got in each thing. Then we have the next level up is crew members. Crew members actually have obligations. Yeah, they'll help with like one or two specific subcommittees, but they are required to assist at with the grand parade, setting up the grand parade, running the grand parade. They're also required to do a shift up at the entertainment garden, whether that is running money back and forth between the ticket booths, doing like a bar back shift, helping with the setup on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before Steamboat Days actually kicks off, and just general whatever needs to be done up at the entertainment garden. That, and they're also required to come to our monthly board meetings. Not all of them. They aren't required to start coming until March. So they come to the March, April, May meetings. And then, of course, got to show up for Steamboat Days. And, the biggest commitments other than coming to the board meetings and working at some part of the grand parade and helping out up at the entertainment garden, that's the limit of like their expectations to be a crew member. And you got to be a crew member before like we'll fully bring you on as a board member, because we want to see that you are actually committed to doing this, because again, it's also an unpaid position. The only paid positions that we have is our security that we have up at the entertainment garden, and we're fairly generous with that pay, so that gets filled up pretty fast. And to all your listeners, we don't need more bartenders. We no, like, I appreciate you signing up to volunteer on our website. Thank you for signing up, but not for bartenders. That's an invite only thing. Sorry.
No taste testers either.
That's the entertainment garden subcommittee. They meet with shot distribution a couple months before, and they sample the selection that shot brings.
Gotcha. Is there anything more we should talk about? You mentioned the fireworks. That'll be Sunday night, 10 o'clock is usually when that starts off, right?
Yeah, so this year is a little different. Okay, a lot different. So this year we have a drone light show just before the fireworks. So that actually is at 9:45. People are able to come down to Levy Park there, right along the service drive there, right along the river. And at 9:45, 300 drones are going to go up in the air, and they're going to put on various images, celebrating Winona Steamboat Days. They'll be running that for, leading right up to the launch of the fireworks.
That sounds cool. That's the first drone show I think we've had here in Winona.
I believe so. And like, we're super excited about it. Like, we already, like, the company that we're working with, Aerial Illumination, they reached out to us. They had an exclusive contract with with Disney for years, and their contract finally like ran up. So now they're able to open up their other offices and like branch out to other events. And they reached out to us because they have an office up in Shakopee. So we booked them for 2 years. So we got them this year and again next year.
Anything else we need to touch on? I think we've hit the highlights for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's, I mean, little things like we got bingo going on. We're partnering with the Eagles Club for bingo Friday and Saturday. It's going to be down there. We got the cornhole tournament Saturday up at the entertainment garden. You can go onto our website, sign up for that still. The kids fishing contest, the kiddie parade down at the lake, Bob and the Beachcombers, and a hot dog lunch for the kids after the parade. Plus the free family entertainment that we're putting out. Last year we had Dangerous Feats of Comedy. This year we have them again alongside the Unicycling Unicorn. They're both street performers, so like wherever they're going to be performing, they're going to be doing 3 shows every day starting Thursday through Sunday. Wherever the show is going to be, it's going to be the Unicycling Unicorn, followed by Dangerous Feats. And then we have a third act called Flip It Out, their trampoline stunt show. They're going to be right alongside our food vendors there at Levy Park there. And that should be, we got lots of free entertainment. I'm hoping next year we can put on even more. Hopefully there's even less construction going on next year. So we can, I want this festival to grow to like be even bigger and better every year.
Well, it sounds like it's moving in that direction. So thank you again for all your efforts, Stephen, and the efforts of the committee and your volunteers as well. Appreciate that. So just Steamboat Days coming up starting Wednesday, June 11th, runs through the 15th. And good fun to be had by all.
Mm-hmm.
And then website is WinonaSteamboatDays.com for anybody that's looking for any of the information that they might seek. And then you mentioned Facebook as well.
Yep, we have a Facebook page, Winona Steamboat Days. So check us out on Facebook. We'll post things up on Facebook. As the festival grows more, there will be more stuff that we'll want to be posting. So we're not, dead from like August through, March on Facebook. Yeah.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for taking some time out of this busy part of the year for you. And we appreciate it. And we'll encourage everybody to go down to Steamboat Days and have a fun, responsible, good time.
Yes. And again, please be respectful of the downtown businesses. That's my biggest ask of everyone that comes to Steamboat Days.
All right. So bring your wallets, not just for the food, but for the stores as well.
Yeah.
All right. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
That is our show for today, the Local Pulse. See you next time here on HMS.